Lovely welcome to this new Jinkies transmission. This time with the 46 Jinki. This is also a very nice one, and I, as always, read extracts from the book, give my own experiences also, and enlighten a little bit your belief systems, what's possible in the matter of belief systems and how they work. First of all, I had like a lot of people now asking about whether I have specific Jinkies. I talked already about, and there is always in the description down the playlist to all of the Jinkies, and there's already 25 now online, and within the next half year there will be all of them available, so you can watch each video of each Jinki. And also there is more about Jinkies on Beyonduality on my blog, where you can read general information about Jinkies if you are new to Jinkies and you just come across one of the Jinkies here on my profile that you found in your profile. So yeah, let's go into the Jinki of the shadow of seriousness, the gift of delight, and the Siddhi of ecstasy. This is the Jinki of the science of luck. It's about our blood, meaning it is very fluid and it has a very interesting watery consistency. And it is also in the codon ring of the matter. The codon ring is some very specific genetic mixture, you could say, in our genes, and all of the 64 gene keys are in one of the codon rings, and this one is in the codon ring of matter. You can also find more information about this on the official Jinkies website. I put also below a link to that. And so besides the 46 Jinki, there is also the 18th Jinki, the 48th Jinki, and the 57th Jinki in this codon ring of matter, and they kind of combined, they tell a story, and that's what the codon ring is about. They always tell a story together, and this is the story of the ring of matter. So let's go into the shadow, seriousness. Why so serious? Why you have to be so serious? Yeah, we know all that life as a human being a lot of times is made more serious than it has to be. And so this is a very important Jinki. It doesn't even matter if you have this in your profile or not, because it will definitely influence you. And this Jinki, there is written a story at the beginning about the rainmaker. You can have a look at it. It's like there is an old magician, an old sorcerer kinda, that go from city to city, and he goes to the places where it's not raining, where there is a desert and it's maybe a year or two no rain, and the people already, they suffer and they don't have food. And then there's this one kind of sage, this sorcerer, that tells like, okay, I'm like this rainmaker, and I go from one to another place and then make it rain. And so this is working also, and he has kind of disabilities. And in this Jinki is very interesting written what actually happens. So what actually happens is that he just aligns with the nature and with the weather, and he just knows where it will to begin to rain soon, and so he goes to the places where it anyway will be raining at some point, and then it's about to rain. So it's like really magical, because nature and humans are aligned, and this is showing how much of influence this is. So what is serious also? Serious is the most widespread of all disease on our planet and is primary cause of much ill fortune. When you live your life from this shadow, you carry a black cloud above your head wherever you go. It always seems to rain when you don't want it because you are out of synchronicity with the whole. You create obstacles for yourself when you become too focused either on the future or the past. Seriousness is about worrying or expecting or wishing life to be other than it is right now. Seriousness takes you away from life and love and into issues of control and separation. Everything was in there. You also rewind it and watch it again or read it for yourself. This is so important to understand for us, that when we are too much into the past or in the future, fears come up, or we cannot let go of the past we had, then what I also noticed for myself, I really struggle when I do it. And for me, it's also sometimes easy to force myself to go into the struggle. Force is also a shadow of the 34th Chinky, and I have this in a prominent position in my profile. So what happens, you can, how you read the profile, you just connect the different dots, and when I force myself to be serious about the past or the future, then it's very hard for me also to understand and to notice it, to be aware of it, to have this self-awareness, because when I'm in this forcing, in this passive activity, I am not noticing it. And that creates a lot of turbulences and struggle. Turbulences is actually the Chinky of the 36 Chinky. I also have in a prominent position. So you can see how this hologenetic profile in general also builds up the stories. And you can, for yourself, check in which regards it matters for you and in which regards it resonates for you. And you can see in the past I had kind of like this struggles and this worked like this, and maybe I have some fears about the future. And then it creates seriousness. We're just serious about life. We don't know what's going to happen. So the 46 Chinky relates to your first 7-year cycle, in which all your shadow patterns are hotwired into your physical structure. Your posture, your breathing patterns, and your relationship to the physical world through touch. So there are the 3 7-year cycles. The one is from when you're born to 7, and this is related to this one. And what's also very interesting, when the child learns through their physical aura that life is safe and loving, their body relaxes into its natural internal harmony. What many people don't realize is that it is the body that must feel safe, not the mind. That is something maybe to think and contemplate about, and to really get deep into the structure of our body like that. We need to feel safe and relaxed in our body to have this deep balance, not the mind. It's somehow it's reversed. And then the mind also follows the physical body more and more. So when parents are unable to trust in themselves, they become too serious about life, and they transmit this frequency into the aura of the children. Just as the 46 Siddhi allows you to enter into the field of ecstasy, so the 46 shadow demands that you live in the field of agony. That means you don't know what to do. Life seems to have no purpose, nothing. You are just living, and you think everything is so hard, when it stops, when heaven comes, I feel like I'm in hell. Actually Earth is kind of hellish for most people, to be realistic on that sense. So living without knowledge or memory of the love of the higher planes means that you can only take life too seriously. Yes, because that means that you fear about dying, you fear about something can happen to your life, that you have no control, that nothing has a plan in life, that everything is random, and you don't see why you are here. So we want our children to be happy, but we do not know how to be happy ourselves. So as you notice, this Chinky is related a lot about not only relationships, it's parenting. This is very deeply about parenting because it is the first circle from birth to 7 years old. And in this phase, it's very important to give the children, like the baby, the children, the infant, the room to grow, to expand, to discover, and to play. And that is so important in this phase of their life. And to give them also the relaxation and the trust and the love. And that can only come from the inner trust, and when we feel deeply safe and we understand why we are here, in a sense that we're here to play and not to be serious. The formula for a wonderful life is so simple. Tread lightly and don't worry so much. Yeah, this, in another sense told what I just told, just take it lightly. Life will take you where it wants you to go. But we humans tend to live in our minds rather than in each present moment, and our minds always live within time. That is one of the big challenges, that we are actually controlled by our minds instead of being like the driver of our vehicle. So instead that the mind is our fuel and the emotions are our fuel, and the mind is our more like director that helps us to lead, we let that director that leads us be the owner of everything, and we trust that mind. We like I talk about the physical mind, and then we just live in this polarity time and we cannot see anything else. And it's not something bad. It's something that the evolution that we need as humans to understand ourselves more. And it's a lot about our limiting beliefs that convince us that our minds are more important than they are, and that the physical body, like especially in spirituality, like the physical body anyway will decay, it will go away at some point. It's not so important. Let's just focus on the mind, because this seems to be the part that will always stay. There's a big challenge here, and that people have to understand is that there is a physical mind and the higher mind. And the most people identify with the physical mind, and they believe that this will stay when they live here on earth to go somewhere else. And that's actually a misconception, because like only the soul and the higher mind is able to stay and continue to live. The physical mind will not stay as much as I am like believing, and I am like this is my opinion also, and I believe that to be true, because it means like the physical body is also the ego and the body. It will decay and leave at some point, and it will emerge together to the higher mind, to our soul, to our wholeness, and we have to clarify what kind of mistakes, what failures, what things we can learn from this physical mind. That is very important. And if we don't learn, we will have to take the class again. And that is why I am here, why you are here. We all have our lessons and our learnings, and so we should take it not seriously. We should play this game with lightness. So a lot about like this shadow. I go right into the nature, so which is repressive, is always we put it inside the emotions and everything, and we just put it in, and at some point it might break out. So here it's frigid. All repressive natures are in one sense or another frozen. Frigidity here is used not so much in the sexual sense, but in much broader context to describe the freezing of one's sensuality. These people hide from life out of fear of their own bodies. If you do not like your body, your vital energy turns sour. Such people lose touch with the juiciness of life. And when we look around life, I have to check here shortly. When we look around life, we see this everywhere, that a lot of people, they just lack like the excitement. I'm no exception. I had a lot of lack of excitement, and from time to time it happens. I'm just like, oh, can this day just go over? I don't know what to do. Yeah, I'm no exception in that. I'm also in my process. So, and the reactive nature is when we project something out. So it's also like victim and abuser. Like one is like the victim that puts the stuff inside and it's like, oh, why is so bad? I'm so bad. And then like the abuser is the one that abused the victim, and so it's the reactive and the repressive nature always reinforce each other. And that is the play of duality. So here the reactive nature is frivolous. Frivolity is an overreaction to seriousness. These people pretend to really enjoy life, and from the outside they appear to take nothing seriously. However, if you scratch the surface of such a person, you will soon find that they are in fact highly emotionally reactive and harbor a huge amount of anger. This anger will explode sooner or later, because these people have an investment in being seen as light-hearted, laid back and jovial. So, yeah, you could say this is kind of like the fake happiness. People are faking their lightness and happiness, and when you get the needle and you pick them with you scratch them with the needle, and then they explode and then yeah. So that's the two natures. Let's go right into the gift, which is the light. So as you know, maybe by now, it's always that the shadow is also as much as important as the gift, because through the shadow and this kind of, you could say like lower frequency, negative pole, we learn how to express our gift more and how to relate more to people. And this is the ring of no matter. To escape the low frequency of seriousness, it takes a single simple quality: acceptance. Acceptance, the 25 gift, is the programming partner of the 46 gift of the light. These two gifts grow out of each other. In order to accept something about yourself, you first have to come out of your ignorance and own it. Acceptance equals ownership, which leads to the light. The light is the sense of freedom that emerges from an appreciation of the richness of being alive. This gift is about feeling alive within the realm of the matter, which we are here now on Earth. So it's really about accepting that each of us choose to be here because somehow it happened that we need to learn something, and we decided that we want to learn something. So that's why I see why we're here. So we have some main topics and subjects what we want to learn, and so we have to accept it, and we should also never reject something. Even if it seems to be bad what we are doing, we should always check that even the parts, let's say for example for me, I was like when I was younger, like 10 years ago, I was playing a lot of computer games, and also professionally. Recently, like there's a lot of crazy things going on, so I started to get a bit interested into gaming again, and my mind directly told me, wait, you want to go back to playing games? You are stupid. Or like, why you are doing this? Like to even think about to play games. Why would you do that? And there was this seriousness inside. And at that point, like I always let myself lead by my intuition. So I played some games, and And I noticed why I had to play games again, because I did not notice something 10-15 years ago. I was sometimes a lot of frustrated when I lose, when I'm playing bad. And then I noticed this again now, and I actually had this emotion, this struggle again, like even 10 years ago. It did not change at all. And I was like, come on, this is crazy. I was thinking I have evolved. And the funny part is that, yeah, it's a lot of points we evolve, but at the same time, there are some struggles that still stay the same. And today I have the option, the possibility for me to look within what is the struggle. 10-15 years ago, I did not even know about mindfulness, about spirituality, about belief systems. I did not know about meditation, that something like that even exists. I was like just somehow enjoying my life and playing games and going to school and all of this. So that is how you can see that, it's very important to be alive in this matter and not to judge like something we do, because somehow even as a lot of things seem strange and why would you do it again, they have a purpose. They have really a purpose. That's what I came to a conclusion. So the gift of the light is based on an inherent understanding that nothing really matters except life and love. So if you love and enjoy something, like for example, I begin to enjoy doing some playing, like some games in my free time to relax, besides also doing my normal sports and meditating and all of the things, and going out with friends. So it's nice to have a very broad mix of things I'm able to do. And if I enjoy it and the time flows and I'm happy doing it, why not do it? Then, as it's written here, nothing really matters except life and love. So no matter what your circumstances, you can accept and recognize them as being a part of grace. So you must approach this transmission lightly, allowing it to wheedle its magical way into the labyrinth of your DNA. If you take it less than seriously and remain open-hearted and open-minded, you may experience the delight for yourself as it spreads further and deepen into your life. Yeah, it really deepens the connection to us, to be delightful, to be light and playful. So people with the 46th gift in their hologenetic profile move through the world incredibly smoothly, like a smoothie. They seem to have a genius for being in the right... Actually, that's... I have to go back to that smoothie. Actually, that's really true, because we are all spiraling around our life, and when we prepare a smoothie, it's also swirling around and getting small, and the particles moving there and the energy. So yeah, we have to, like a smoothie, we have to incredibly work smoothly in the world, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So they seem to have a genius for being in the right place at the right time, and others often see them as lucky. However, very few people really understand that what luck is. As with the rainmaker in our earlier story from the shadow, luck is what happens when you stop interfering with life. Luck is nature's way of telling you that you are in harmony with the whole. Yeah, that's it, to just be in flow and in harmony. The energy of the light is rooted in a deep, The energy of the light is rooted in a deep sensuousness that comes from being very comfortable in their bodies. This being comfortable has nothing whatsoever to do with how they look. They could be fat, thin, ugly, or beautiful. It comes from loving life more than anything else in the world. And I agree with that. I know people that are have a bit more fat, but they are so loving, they're so playful, so nice, such nice friends and people. And it doesn't really matter like too much in this regard if we are playful and lightful and love life. So let's go to the Siddhi, which is ecstasy. the orgasmic inner world. Now it becomes a bit, it becomes a bit deeper and a bit mystical and spiritual and maybe esoteric. You don't have to understand and trust and whatever anything about the cities. They just have to be poetically experienced, and it's fun. So Siddhic states are all a matter of magnetism. You have to expand yourself far enough to become one pole of the energy field to be the negative pole or the attractor. This is exactly what the humans are, receiving dishes for universal frequency. If you can expand your consciousness far enough, then the highest frequencies actually descend into you. Ecstasy is the highest frequency of the 46 Chinki, and it occurs only through the heart. It really goes through the heart chakra to the center. It is in fact the true nature of humanity. This level of consciousness which is really beyond all levels. The ecstatic realization of your true nature is so strong that it silences your mind the moment it is no longer needed. So you are just in this ecstatic state. What comes maybe a little bit close to that is when you have a sexual interaction with your partner. It goes a little bit to the direction when you can really let go, that you're just in the field and there's no thoughts coming, the mind stops, and ecstasy is just, you can say X10, is going insane and not stopping. So it's like 10 times stronger and 100 times stronger, and it's insane, like something like ecstasy. So ecstasy is your state whenever your mind comes to complete rest. And people who manifest the Siddhi cannot go unnoticed in the world. There are Siddhis that can be hidden from most people's awareness, but the 46th Siddhi is not among them. The jacuzzi of love that swirls around these people is so tangible that it can even be felt by people of the densest frequency, that the people that don't believe in anything and never went, they don't even know that meditation exists. Like me 10 years ago, I didn't know anything about, I was totally lost and forgotten about what possibilities life have and what vastness and the expansion possibilities. And that's all that is about the Siddhi. The Siddhi is really a frequency, a being that enables that radiates so much frequency and energy of a higher energy that it just activates DNA strings of people that are completely off for the topics. Like this also happened for me when I noticed my first spiritual teacher, and where I noticed a scientific spiritual approach, very scientific, that he was able to activate different strings within me, and I didn't have to do anything. It just happened. There was some magic there. And that's what the Siddhic states do. They do it passively, and when you are in the Siddhic state, you don't have to actively tell people, look into this meditation, do this and that and that. Just by being in the environment of that other person that is completely in a dense frequency, they get out of it. Suddenly they just activate strings of the DNA and stuff, where they begin to want to meditate, begin to think about life after death, what happens and this and that, and they have like all of the experiences, and they think like, oh, that's cool, and they just go more into mindfulness, spirituality, and all of these things. And that is like the purpose also of the Chinkis, in my sense, to understand that even the densest beings nothing is bad or like negative. It's just a state we're in. The purpose of the ring of matter is to be penetrated completely by the spirit. When this occurs, ecstasy is the organic result. There's actually no work more important on this planet than play. When we become truly playful, we reshape the nature of our collective reality. Yeah, play has been forgotten for a long time. I really also check to rediscover it on a more broader level. Sometimes I'm also still too serious. I'm like, oh, okay, now I have to do this video and I have to do this and this. But actually, it makes really fun, and when I do it, I really love it, and it's so playful. And that's why I believe also that people here like my videos, and they really support and guide also a bit more besides the official work of Jinkies, and so I'm very happy about this. Those who have allowed themselves to be overcome by the 46 Siddhi are so overflowing with their own ecstasy that they really have been rarely. So look, I don't have to be serious about making mistakes. It's all about being playful and tell like, okay, it happens that you make mistakes and it's okay. So again, those who have allowed themselves to be overcome by the 46 Siddhi are so overflowing with their own ecstasy that they rarely have been able to find words for their experience. The heart doesn't care a tick about success or failure, past or future, life or death. It knows only that it is alive and beating right now, and that realization floods the being with sweet liquid wine of ecstasy. Your ability to attune to the ecstatic nature of your body depends upon your ability to let go of your mind and open your heart. This is a stage of humanity where we are at a lot now. To not say like, I'm just this mind, the thoughts and what's going on, to really open our heart, and that means we have to deeply work with our emotions, which a lot of people are not aware so much yet. We let ourselves very much be controlled by desires and emotions and everything like that, and we are at a stage in humanity where we get more aware of that. So your ability, I had that already, 1 second. It depends upon how grateful you feel towards existence for giving you this body and the experience of being alive. Yes, I'm happy that I'm alive, even though I know I struggle also a lot, but that is also the choose and the beauty of life, because it has to be experienced in a balance, so we can be grateful about the nice parts. And if you have felt this ecstatic feeling even once in your life, then you can recreate it. You just have to visualize, imagine it, and then you are back at that past. Let's say this example, what I told about my gaming, what I did, it's a more like doing an active experience. So I just had to play the game now again after 10 years, and it reactivated this DNA where I was in struggle, and then I recreated this feeling of being in a struggle, and that's how it works with struggle, and that's how it works with being happy. And even if you haven't felt it, you can open yourself to it. It lies within you right now at the exact moment of your reading this. It will always remain within you, waiting quietly within the very ventricles of your physical heart. All you have to do is invite it back into your life. Thank you very much for watching this transmission to the end. Thumbs up for the video, and also subscribe to the channel if you have not done it yet. There will be a lot of Jinkies and other exciting videos coming up. And leave a comment also below. Check in the description, there's so many playlists and information and about my blog. And then see you in the next transmission. You're Dominic. Bye bye.